Okay, I'm Nick McCabe from the Verve and Black Submarine. I'm presenting the Lucem Paradox Old Nick edition. This is serial number 002. It's been through several refinements, but the basic concept is the same. It's Graham Skimming, who is Lucem. It's his design. The guitar shape is his design, and he calls it the Paradox. He offered to make me one very early on, about 3 years ago now, and said, what do you want in it, basically. I told him what my requirements were, born out of my desire to kind of cut down on all the masses of equipment that I was taking out with me, and to do a lot of the gain staging things that you would do ordinarily with pedals, to reduce it to the guitar, basically, so that I can take a couple of delays and a reverb and a looping pedal and my amp, and job done, basically. Ordinarily, I'd take a Mesa Boogie out and do all the and several shows now where I've just done the gain staging from this guy here. And today I'm using a Kemper profiling amp, which has got my 1987X, it's a Marshall amplifier, profiled into it. I actually use the profile more than I use the amp these days. I'll be demonstrating some of the philosophy behind this. The idea being that it combines the ergonomics of in particular the Strat volume knob, which has become a kind of integral part of my playing style these days, along with this idea that has kind of evolved with the usage of Gibson guitars, where you'll preset your tones for each pickup, giving you like a kind of foot switching ability, if you like, whereby the classic thing on a Les Paul is you've got the volume all the way up for your bridge pickup, so you've got a distorted sound, more gain hitting the amp, and then you might have a clean sound for your neck pickup, just by turning the volume back a bit. It's become a little bit of a lost art. Myself, I'm also guilty of it, relying on pedals when you can do quite a lot of this work from the guitar itself. So Graham kind of gave me what I wanted, really. So what I should point out really is what the controls do, because that's the kind of heart of my contribution, if you like. We've got two PAF style pickups here. Graham's currently using Kent Armstrong PAF reissues, very good sounding pickups. These are some that I selected myself. But what we've got is we've got the classic Gibson setup, these four controls here. We've got volume for the bridge, tone for the bridge, volume for the neck, tone for the neck, and then we've got the master volume here, which is so I can do all the volume source and things like that without having to worry about how it's affecting the gain too much. So it's purely a gestural thing, if you like, really. And then we've got a Bigsby on this, which wasn't, I believe, the original plan. This is a licensed Bigsby, which works actually really very well. Graham's currently installing actual official Bigsbys. I'm happy with this, really, so I see no need to upgrade it. And I should also mention that these volumes also double as coil taps as well, so we're also getting single coil action out of these two things that are, as close as we possibly can. These are actually tone riders, and they're not the most expensive pickups in the world, but what they are known for, and they do really well, as I'll demonstrate in a bit, is they split to a good approximation of a single coil sound. So that's the reason I selected them, but you're going to be getting a bit more, dare I say, boutique style pickups from Kent Armstrong. And without further ado, I should probably do some Verve tunes to kind of give you the notion of why this philosophically works for me. So this is an old tune called A New Decade, and it starts off with like a sort of fairly clean sound. I used to play this on a Les Paul, and then I got sick of carting guitars around and swapping guitars at festivals and things like that, so the guitar that I was using at the time did a good approximation of the humbucker sound by virtue of its mid boost, and that was a Levinson Blade Texas special, I think it was, and so I kind of got out of the habit of taking Gibson guitars out with me, and I kind of missed it, really. So this is like it's the through neck guitar as well, so it's the construction's very Gibson-esque. It's a Strat scale, it's and it's a sort of lightish body, and it's got the comfort that I kind of miss from Fender guitars as well. So, but with this song anyway, we start off fairly clean. We're on the neck pickup. I turn up a little bit where I would normally hit a pedal, and then when we get to the kind of like the peak of the dynamic, really, I'm switching to the neck pickup, which is going to give me extra gain by virtue of it having extra treble to dump into the amp effectively. So anyway, I'll shut up now. Okay, so we're coil tap now. Okay, so like I say, I'm not using any pedals. I'm just using the Kemper. I'm using one amp model. Obviously, got a little bit of not a little bit. I've got a lot of delay and a lot of reverb in coming out of Logic here. shout out to Outer Space from Audio Thingies. They're a great company, and I'm using Valhalla Vintage Verb, which does a great job of old style vintage reverbs, kind of grainy but evocative, if you like. But what I'm using a looping pedal on the floor. Oh, it's not a looping pedal, it's part of the Kemper actually. So let's just have a little fiddle about and see where I get to with it, basically. Let's start with like a texture maybe. Okay, thank you very much. That's the Lucem Paradox Old Nick. I'm Nick. This is the Old Nick. Thank you for your time.